Alright, hello everybody! And welcome. I am very excited. This is Phil, of course, on the stream. This is not my shadow clone, this is actually the genuine article. And I am here. It is Tuesday, February 9th, 2016. And I would like to welcome you personally to my very first new gameplay stream for the year. That is right, ladies and gents. It is the very first game of this year that is a brand new release. Now, there have been other games that have come out, but most of them were either re-releases or, you know, nothing that was like a super notable full-on retail release. For the most part, it's been pretty damn slow. Let's be honest here. 2016 has really had no notable releases. You know, outside of a few things here or there, a couple games I didn't play, like Lego Avengers I didn't play. And, you know, I did play Resident Evil 0, but that was a remaster. So, when you really look at it, there have been no high-profile games at all this year yet. It's been more of kind of wrapping up stuff from last year, and that's perfectly fine. In fact, I actually feel that if a million new games were released in January, that maybe a lot of them would be lost in the shuffle. I think January is traditionally the slow game month of the year. But as of today, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's official. The new release wave has hit. So just to give you guys and gals some perspective, alright? As you can see, if you are watching this video right now and not just listening, we're going to be starting this new game wave with Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. This is the direct sequel to 3, which I played 3 years ago. That's right, everyone. If you remember correctly, back 3 years ago, early 2013, I had just adopted direct capture and live streaming. I even remember that at that time, I had a few issues with the direct capture and live streaming because I was trying to time the audio of my voice and the microphone, you know, commentary, and time it with the audio of the game and not have, like, echoing sound and stuff like that. If you actually remember, since it was the very first playthrough, or one of the first, because it was actually this and Tomb Raider were the two games I was playing at the same time, trying to do that. Basically, I was trying to get a setup that was working, and I even remember in the first parts of this playthrough from 3 years ago, that there was, like, echoing audio and stuff, and then I finally got all the bugs worked out, right? But it's funny, here we are 3 years later, and it's come full circle. We're going to play the final game, the final installment of the Shippuden series. It actually is going to end the official Naruto storyline, which is awesome because for those of you who know, or who don't know, excuse me, because I talked about this, you know, 3 years ago, I was a huge fan of Naruto. I remember when it first hit American television, and I watched a couple episodes. I was like, this is great, but let's face it, you know, the American version, they always dumb it down, they take stuff out, and I want to see the uncut version. I started watching the Japanese anime of it, which was a good, like, 2 seasons ahead of what the American version was in. And I ended up watching it, and I was like, you know what? That's not enough. I want to know what's really happening. And I started reading the manga, and it was like maybe around a straight year, I was reading Naruto like crazy, and I read like basically like the first 5 or 6 seasons of it is what I kind of immersed myself with. And then I fell off. Then it was after a while, I just got busy with other stuff in my life, whether it was my job or I remember at that point I had moved out of my parents' house, and I was sharing an apartment with 2 other people. Working in an office job, and you know, it's funny how things kind of change when when you know, you get priorities that kind of shift, right? And I remember watching this and also One Piece were the 2 things that I was reading and watching, and I just kind of stopped when I got so busy with my life at that point. And I never really got back into it. I never did because, you know, once you fall out of something like this, something that's been ongoing for so long, it's very hard to jump back into it and you're like, how the hell do I get caught up now? So 3 years ago, when Shippuden 3 was released, that was an awesome opportunity for me to kind of get caught up with the series, and man, was it a mind fuck with all the plot lines and stuff that came together, all the new characters that were introduced, and all the stuff that I had missed out on, that apparently were these like epic plot lines in the show and in the manga, that I had missed out, and they all kind of came full circle in the last game. I remember, remember the undead characters that were like big bosses from the past, and they'd been resurrected, and you had these people having showdowns with them and stuff like that. It was pretty fun, and it was pretty awesome. I remember the very ending, the beasts were fighting, remember, and how difficult that was? The final beasts gauntlet boss fight and all that. Man, it was epic. It was annoying as shit, but people really liked it. They liked it because it was a Japanese-centric anime/manga style game, and that's not something I would play. That was something outside of my comfort zone, and very different from my usual style of content that I would put out. And the fact that I toughed through it and I did beat it, right? So here we are 3 years later. This game is going to wrap up the plot lines from the last game, because the last game, had a cliffhanger ending, didn't really have any resolution, and that was on purpose. I think they realized there was going to be another game, and they would stretch it out. At that point, if I remember correctly, it had not ended yet, right? The manga was still going. They hadn't even written the ending of the series yet, so no one really knew how it was going to end. And then, of course, over the past 3 years, the manga has wrapped up, but the anime has not. The anime apparently is in an endless loop of filler episodes that most people are complaining about, because they're like, just end the fucking thing. It already ended. We know how the plotline ends. We read the manga. Just do it in the anime. And they haven't done it yet. So how funny is it that today, right, in the game, we're going to be playing things in live action that haven't happened in the anime yet. So they haven't even fucking animated it yet for the TV show, yet we're going to be doing it in a video game. That's pretty funny. But I digress. I'm very happy to be jumping in to Shippuden 4 and finally wrapping up the Naruto storyline this week. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to kind of close a chapter in my life, because this was something that I followed pretty adamantly for a couple of years, and then, like I said, I fell off. 3 years ago, I was reacquainted with it, fell off again, and now it's time to end it, right? And kind of move on. So it's going to be exciting. I'm happy with that, and I'd like to say thank you to those of you who are here to watch that. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because also today, another new release, Unravel, a platforming unique game that was debuted at E3 last year. Looks amazing, and I really am excited to check this out. I'm going to be playing that later tonight. I'm not going to be live streaming Unravel. I'm just going to be playing it offline and recording the videos and uploading those to DSPGaming. Sorry, I had a breakfast, and I usually don't have breakfast, so, my stomach's like, what are you doing to me? But anyway, yeah, that's going to be tonight. So not only will there be 3.5 hours of Naruto right now, later tonight there'll be around 2 hours of Unravel. So lots of new gameplay hitting DSPGaming on YouTube today. Alright? Tomorrow, we will be doing another stream of Naruto. Same time, same place as this one today. Now, from what I've heard, I don't know if this is true. I'm just going from what I'm hearing. People are saying this game, the plot of the story, is only about 6 hours long. Unlike the last game, which was around 10 to 12 hours, apparently they took out a lot of the time-consuming wandering around, killing tons of generic enemies, and wandering and doing stuff between areas. Apparently it's all gone. They made the story a lot more streamlined. So if that's the case, I'd be more than happy to finish the story in 2 days, 2 sessions. Now, I don't know if it's true. I have no idea. We're going to find out here firsthand, right? So, that's tomorrow. Will be this stream, same time, same place. Now, tomorrow night, what I wanted to do was kind of do a first impressions video on Naruto Shippuden. But here's the thing. If this plotline really is only 6 hours long, then chances are there's no reason to do a first impressions video. Because really, outside of the plotline, what else is there to do besides adventure mode, right? Which is like just running around in the free world doing stuff here or there. Or the online play. So what I may do tomorrow night, depending on how things go, is I may actually just do more Unravel. And then, come Thursday, I may be able to finish up maybe, one, if not both games. We'll see what happens here. Okay? What I'm hoping is that maybe by the weekend we could have finished one of the 2 games. And what I'd like to do is review the game. Because here's the thing. There's a third release this week. Okay? And the third release is called Firewatch. And I'm very interested in it. This also had some information that was released at first at E3 last year. And it intrigues me. I don't know if the game's any good. But just the style of game kind of intrigues me. Okay? So, I'm pretty interested. and what's going to happen here with this week. If I do get through these games, I would love to play Firewatch, but I don't want to promise anyone that I'm going to be playing Firewatch this week, simply because I don't want to promise something that I can't live up to. It all depends on how much time it takes to actually beat these two releases that I'm focusing on, okay? So, we'll see what happens. So, at the very least, 2 new games this week. If we have time, there may be 3 new games this week. Alright, now to give you perspective, because remember I said this is the beginning of the wave of new releases? Next week, Street Fighter V comes out. And that's going to take precedence over everything. That's going to be me buckling down, and just like the old days, playing the living hell out of Street Fighter, analyzing the characters, doing montage videos of the best moments of me playing with certain characters, and even maybe doing tutorial-style videos of the characters, and going into arcade mode, training mode, trials mode, online gameplay. I'm going to go wild with Street Fighter V, just like I did back in the day in 2009 with Street Fighter 4. It's come full circle yet again. You know, Street Fighter 4 was the thing that pretty much at that point put me on the map for YouTube gaming. And I'm hoping that people will check it out again. I'll maybe get that competitive bug back and want to play the hell out of the game and, you know, play it on a regular basis. That would be pretty awesome. So that's next week. That's the main focus for next week. The week after that, the final week of February, we've got Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, the sequel to the game from several years ago, which I loved. I thought it was the sleeper hit of the year, honestly. It was really well executed. And also Far Cry Primal, which is a throwback game. It supposedly has the formula of the previous Far Cry games, but this one's set in prehistoric times. So no guns. You're going to have spears and handheld weapons and platforming and parkour with all kinds of prehistoric monsters and shit, which could be pretty sweet. So it sounds interesting, right? And that's just this month. That's just this month. Now just think about that. Next month, right? Next month, you've got The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess HD, the new Hitman game premiering, even though it's only one episode of the game. Still, it's a new episode. That's cool. UFC 2, the new MLB game. Keep in mind, we're going to pair that with all the ongoing stuff from this month. I'm sure I'm not going to have finished games like Far Cry, and I'm going to want to keep playing games like Street Fighter 4. Then in April, we've got Quantum Break. We've got Homefront, and I forget what the subtitle is, like The Revolution or something like that. Dark Souls 3, Star Fox Zero, and Uncharted 4, all in April. All in April. How wild is that? So we're talking in the next 2 months. We're talking a good maybe dozen high-profile, big game releases. That is exciting. To me, at least. That's super exciting because now I've got stuff to do. It's like, instead of me worrying about, oh man, I got downtime. What game am I going to play to fill this time? Now it's like, damn, how am I going to cover all these games? Because there's so many cool ones that I want to play. That's awesome. I'm really excited. I really am excited. So, I hope you're excited too. You know, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of us, you know, getting back into the groove of constant new releases. And keep in mind that this year, my formula is different. Yes, I'll be covering these games, but I'm usually going to only do 1 stream a day. Some days I'll do 2 gameplay sessions, but most days I'm just going to be doing 1, because I'll be taking the second half of every day to do things like vlogging or an edited video. I'm going to be reviewing games more often than I used to. I'm going to be doing things like first impressions videos, mini reviews, hits of the week every Friday night. I'm going to be putting together a montage of the best gameplay moments of the week and slamming them together into a cool edited montage for you. That's over on my new YouTube channel, KO Gaming, which if you have not checked it out yet, I strongly recommend that you do. YouTube.com/KO Gaming 1. The channel's been live for just under a month now. It's got lots of fun videos. We got full reviews, mini reviews, hits of the week, first impressions videos, and that's just the beginning. There's going to be tons more content on there now. Now that we've got, you know, all these new releases coming out, it's going to be pretty much constant stuff. At least 2-3 videos a week. Probably a review a week, quite honestly, with all the stuff coming out. So it's going to be great. I'm excited. And then keep in mind, I only mentioned games up through April. In May, we've got Battleborn and Doom and, what's the other? Mirror's Edge and, it's gaming overload. It's gaming overload. And even the summer this year seems interesting, because the summer, it seems like finally the JRPG makers are listening, and they're releasing the JRPGs during the summer, which is what they should do. Persona 5, if it comes out this summer, is going to be freaking amazing. I cannot wait. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting way ahead of myself here, because I'm so excited about the games coming out this year. I really am. Thank you for being here for the very start. This is the day one. Let it be known. February 9th, 2016 is the beginning of the gaming rush for this year. And, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun daily covering all this new stuff. So we're going to start with about 3.5 hours of Naruto today. As usual, I'll record it. I'll upload it to DSPGaming afterwards. So if you cannot be here for the entirety of the stream, please watch the videos on demand on DSPGaming afterwards after I upload them. As I said, later tonight, I'll be playing Unravel. So if you're looking for the premiere of Unravel, that's later tonight, and that's not going to be live streamed. That'll just be recorded and uploaded straight to DSPGaming, so you can check that out later tonight, okay? So I don't have too much else to talk about. What I will do, I'll do my couple of plugs as usual here, alright? The first plug will be for Patreon. And, you know, this year, Patreon is a huge part of my business. It's supplemental income so that I could keep doing this full time. It's because of the hardships that I faced last year. I'm not going to go into that right now. I'd rather stay positive, but those who've contributed to my Patreon already have helped out in a massive way. And actually, this week, I messaged all of last month's patron pledgees because they made it possible. We're going to be doing a new Patron's Choice playthrough. And right now, I'm getting lots of info from patrons, and they're going to be nominating games all this month for me to play in this next Patron's Choice playthrough because we hit our funding goal for January, which is awesome. If you would like to contribute, if you would like to see what kind of perks and stuff you can get for being a patron of mine, check out patreon.com/darksidephil. And check it out. It's all listed there publicly. Now, I have not created a new goal level for this month. And what I mean by that is I've not put up what the reward will be if we hit the funding level for February. However, I'm going to be doing that within the next week. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be one that people have been asking for. So I think that people will enjoy this one. And, you know, thanks to those who have contributed, because you are certainly helping and allowing me to do this live streaming and on-demand video, and all the positive changes I've made this year are a result of you guys helping me out, and I appreciate that, alright? Number 2, please check the description of any of my content that you're watching on YouTube, whether it's a live stream, whether it's an on-demand video. In that description, you will find my Amazon associate link, which you can use if you shop on Amazon.com. And that's all I have to say about that. Short and sweet, right? And then last but not least, a quick reminder. I won't go into super detail on this, but my girlfriend Leanna has her own business. It's called The Black Currant. She actually makes handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. In fact, right now at this moment, she's in our kitchen chopping up giant blocks of soap to melt them down and add fragrance and add coloring and make custom soaps. Right now, she's doing a batch in our kitchen. And the house smells, so I have my door closed and I have the window open, because even though the scents smell great in the soap, when it's a highly concentrated smell, it kills my nose, and so I have to try to air the house out. So if you're interested in possibly checking out her product, or possibly buying a present for someone, whether it's a family member, significant other, etc., check it out at etsy.com/shop/theblackcurrant, spelled C-U-R-R-A-N-T, and you can actually see a link to that directly right now in the stream chat. If you're there right now, Gino Sashi just put up a link to that, so shout out to Gino right now for doing that. I appreciate it. And I think that's about it. I don't really want to go on too long. I want to get started. And I'm excited to play Naruto again after 3 years, to come back and finish up the plot line, right? Alright, that is it, ladies and gents. Thanks for being here on the premiere stream of Naruto. Without further ado, let's get started. I will start recording, and I'll explain the deal here, because I'm going to be skipping the intro of the game. I'll explain why in a moment in the intro that I'm doing for YouTube on demand, so that's it. Wow, there you go. Now, what would it be if we were starting the real new release game season of 2016 without a disgustingly huge belch here on the stream today? Come on now. That's the inaugural belch to get 2016 moving forward, right? Alright. Thank you, everyone. Let's get started with Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm